Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in. This is Gloria Lee, the moderator for the show Women of Courage. Wherever you are in the world, I need you to know one thing right now. You are amazing. I know you might be upset. I know you might be hurting. And I know you might be frustrated. I know because all of these things happened to me. I was homeless for 2 years, and all I had was a computer, my son, and a car. I want you to know you still have a purpose in life, and it is my job to help you believe that again. Do you want to believe? Can you see that the divorce was not meant to take you out? Can you believe that the lost house and the lost job is a setup for something greater? By the end of this broadcast, you'll be injected with so much that you cannot help but believe again. And I am going to help you do just that. Are you ready? I got some things I want to share with you. And I will even make suggestions on books and activities that you can implement, which will ultimately bring healing and wholeness to you. If you are ready to be healed, if you're ready to be whole, just jot down the pointers I give and watch your life transform. No matter what happened, no matter whose fault it was, today is a new day, and your time to live and be free is now. Join me in this journey to wholeness. Your time for total healing is now. Today you shall recover. Wholeness, healness, and peacefulness is in the mind. That is where all battles for life end and begin.
Today, I choose love. From my past, my future, to my family and friends, I choose love. With everything we've got going on in the world today, all the hate and negativity, love is all we have, and it's all we need. If you can start each day with love, you will watch your world change. But the time is now to forgive, to forget, to move on. Do this and your perspective will change. If I know one thing, I would rather live in a world with love and openness than a world full of pain. And it's our choice to believe in something bigger than us. One world, one people, one love.
The Women of Courage show is being broadcast by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries to help you problem solve, to help you dream again, to help you believe that anything is possible. We want you to believe that you do not have to marry the first man you meet just to get someone to take care of you. You do not have to live a life of drudgery. You can educate yourself. All you have to do is learn to read competently. We want you to take a chance on yourself. Stop believing all the soothsayers around you that have never left the state in their lives. People who do not have courage to fly. People who only think of lying, cheating, and stealing. You can live an exciting life. All you have to do is believe that you can make your dreams come true. You do not have to go to bed with someone you despise day in and day out. You have the right to marry someone that you can talk to someone that believes in you and has faith in you as a human being. In other words, you do not have to settle for just anyone. But what you must do is strive toward your goal. You must be goal oriented. You must organize yourself. You must be clear about what you want in life and why you want such a life. All of us are made up of dreams. As our dreams unfold in our lives, our spirit soars. Realizing our dreams becomes a problem because oftentimes we are beaten down by our friends and family. We are beaten down at school by people laughing at us because of our shoe size, our ear size, our breast size, the clothes we wear, etc. We are beaten down by people saying nothing will come of our lives. We are beaten down when our mothers and grandmothers constantly say that we're going to be just like our father, an inmate in prison. Many of us are also discouraged when our mothers are inattentive. She is wrapped up in her new boyfriend. But life anew is possible. It is my job to encourage you to go as far as you can dream and as far as your dreams can take you. It is my job to get you to believe in life again. I am sick and tired of people failing at life just because they are around negative speaking and negative acting people. Do not let the failure of other people make you lose confidence in yourself. Yes, you may be surrounded by poverty, but you must look for a way out. The book, If You Believe in God, You Do Not Belong in Prison, will help you. What you must do above all else is learn to read competently. You must read, and read. Anyone who laughs at you for reading, you need to leave that person alone. I do not care if it's your mother. Anyone who discourages you, you are to stop all association. Man is not different than plants. We need encouragement to grow as plants need water to thrive. You are to leave foolish, stupid people alone. Their ignorance will weigh you down or even get you killed. Sit down and think how you can avoid these people, especially if they're in your family. If you are overwhelmed with the tiring feeling that feels as if you're carrying a bag of stone around every morning when you get out of bed and think how you'll have to spend another living life you're not passionate about, the books I suggest are the perfect solution for your unique needs. Not only will we help you realize why these feelings overwhelm you and what you can do to change it, but they will also teach you how to live a life of strength, courage, fearlessness in order to realize all of your dreams. If you are lacking the attitude and psychology, proper resource or vision to make your dreams a reality, combined with dissatisfaction with the execution of your plans, but you remain firmly dedicated to making your ambition a reality and creating the life you deserve, you will certainly derive the most benefit from professional, incredible content within these books. Contents that will assist you in achieving the results that you are after. You are never to give up on yourself. Are you ready to leave your future to chance? Of course not. Take your life in your hand and learn all the necessary tools, mindset, strategies used by the men and women of courage used in order to live the life of their dream. Change your life with our book starting today. The Michigan primaries and the general election are coming up, so we thought we should say something about why you should vote. Elizabeth Wallis from the League of Women Voters in Texas says here are some reasons why you should vote. She says if nobody votes, it's not a democracy. If you don't vote, people will not take you seriously. Voting is how you define yourself as part of something larger than yourself. Number four, if you do not vote, someone else will make the decisions for you. Voting is part of your independence. Number five, it matters. It matters to the future of you, your family, and your community. Six, people who don't vote are letting down their families and their communities. Moms, do you have an 18-year-old in your family? If so, give him or her register and be certain they vote. 8. Refusing to vote isn't a rebellion, it's a surrender. Number 9. Love your country. Prove it by voting. Number 10. Voting is the great equalizer. The richest billionaire in America gets just one vote, the same as you and me. Number 11. What do the smart people do? They vote. They are voters. Number 12. Elections have consequences. Be a voter. Elected officials make all the big decisions and they listen to the people who vote. Number 14. If you don't vote, you're invisible to the elected officials who make all the big decisions. Number 15. Did you know people with money spend billions of dollars on elections? Billions spent for television ads, mailers, people to make phone calls and to knock on doors. The smart people spending all that money are trying to influence the voters. If it didn't matter, they wouldn't do it. Number 16. If you don't vote because you think your vote doesn't matter, then the people who don't want you to vote because you are afraid of how your vote will not win. Number 17. Bad people are elected by the good people who did not vote. Hundreds of thousands of Americans have died to protect your right to vote. You owe it to them to vote. 19. Voting is the right thing to do. Start preparing to vote now. Go and register at the Secretary of State's office. Find out where your polling place is and be prepared to be the first person in line to vote that day. If you do not have transportation to the polling place, call your local library and find out who is offering free transportation to polling locations. Remember, vote. Dear male listeners, our show may be called Women of Courage, but our name should not stop you from listening to our show. You have as much to learn and to consider as women. Why? Because many of you are fathers, sons, and brothers. And you need to understand those forces and situations that affect the female members of your family. So we do implore you to listen to our show with an ear for understanding. Thank you. Good morning. This is your host, Gloria Lee. Today we will be answering the question why you should listen to the Women of Courage show if you are a male. How are you today? I hope you are feeling well and that you see light in your future. A bright future is always invigorating. A bright future will make you wake smiling in the morning. A bright future will make your food taste better. It will make walking lighter. It will make you feel better wearing your clothes. You don't mind looking in the mirror when you feel you have a bright future. We at the Women of Courage believe in bright futures. We believe in bright futures because we believe in well lived lives. We believe a person should give life all that she or he can give to inventing a bright future. We believe a bright future should be sought after. A bright future should be worked toward. Nothing in life is worth fighting more for than a bright future. If you are a male and interested in a bright future, I am going to offer you several reasons why you should listen to the radio show Women of Courage. You're going to learn something that will benefit you. You're going to grow immeasurably from the knowledge you obtain by listening, and you're going to learn to apply this knowledge to problem solving and to inventing. You're going to learn from the trials and tribulations of others. You're going to learn life is really about you and the choices that you make every day. For example, during some of our shows, we discuss individuals prophesizing into their own lives. The dictionary defines a prophet as a person regarded as an inspired teacher, one who proclaims the will of God. Now, as a person, have you asked yourself what inspires you? Where does your inspiration come from? And what do you proclaim over your life? Be careful when you say that I proclaim good things happening in my life when actually you walk around worrying all day or biting your nails. This is a contradiction. There are lots of misconceptions about what destiny is, but you need to know that you are the one who decides what your destiny will be. For instance, if a man leaves home with a table knife and stabs another man deliberately, he has proclaimed prison sentence upon himself. It's that simple. Our destiny evolves every day because of the choices that we make. And that is why, as a prophet of your life, you can choose to draw inspiration from the Word of God. Teach yourself godly values, proclaim good things over your life, and work toward the achievements of your desire. You are where you are today because of the choices you made yesterday. And if you want your situation to change, you must start making decisions based on where you want to be or what you want to achieve. Remember also that life is not fair to anyone. It doesn't give you what you deserve, but what you desire. So it is important to work toward your desires every time, irrespective of the situation around you. A prophet is not influenced by the prevalent situation of his environment. Rather, he makes divine proclamations based on what will be. You will always be encouraged on the Women of Courage show to plan, organize, and execute. Do not let anyone limit you. Stand up for yourself and be the man you have always wanted to be. Now, do you remember the lyrics from the song by George Benson on Broadway? Here are some of the lyrics. It says, "They say I won't last too long on Broadway. I'll catch a Greyhound bus for home, they say. But they're dead wrong, I know they are, 'cause I can play this here guitar. And I won't quit till I'm a star on Broadway. I won't quit till I'm a star on Broadway. No, 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 no. I won't quit till I'm a star, 'cause I know I can." George Benson is singing about a man who refuses to quit. Listening to the Women of Courage show, you are going to learn how to clearly define your goals. We specialize in helping others achieve their full potential. Our message is clear. If we can do it, so can you. Answer this question: where do you want to be in 10 years from now? Oh, you can't answer this question? Why? Because you have not sat down and thought about your future? During our broadcast, we help you identify your talents, to clearly define your vision and dreams, to choose the lifestyle you have always wanted, to realize your dreams, to gain powerful confidence, and to live out your deepest desires. To my male listeners, I say there is no distinction between knowledge. Knowledge is not gender specific. In other words, there is no embodiment of feminine knowledge and different embodiment of male knowledge. Knowledge is knowledge and it has nothing to do with gender. So please pay close attention to what I say because in many instances what we discuss on Women of Courage applies to both men and women equally. When I tell women not to bring unrelated males into the home, that applies equally to men. It just means do not bring your children in contact with an unrelated female. A lot of men have brought females into their home and put these women over their children, then later to find themselves in court with a judge finding their girlfriend guilty of murdering their child. Just because a woman is a female does not make her receptive to your child as being a caregiver. Most females lie. They do not want to deal with another woman's child. They see money going out the door. They rather have a baby for you and be attached to you for the next 18 years of child support. Lots of women put a smile on their face, play acting that they just love children, while all the time they are lazy, trifling females that should never be around a child. Women do murder their boyfriend's children. So please listen to what I say and apply what I'm saying to you. I lived across the street from a woman. She married this man because he had a job in the factory. The man was not handsome and he had a daughter to care for. He needed a woman to take care of his child while he worked. Marrying the woman and giving the woman a roof over her head and taking care of her child, he thought was a fair bargain. As the years went on, she took care of her daughter, braiding her hair, buying her pretty dresses, and seeing that she was educated. Her daughter later became a nurse. Guess what the man's daughter turned out to be? She turned out to be an abused wife. I know because I rescued her from her husband. Her husband would lock her into the bathroom when he went to work. He would let her out when he came home. Then he would sit in the kitchen while she made dinner. I met her down at Sam's Cut Rate when I got out of the Air Force. We stood and talked for a while. She invited me to her house. After I left and was walking down the hallway, I could hear her husband screaming at her for inviting me to their apartment. She tried to explain to him that she and I were childhood friends. A few weeks later, I returned just to say hello to her. This is when I found out he had locked her in the bathroom. For weeks, she and I would talk while I stood outside her bathroom window. This is when she told me what was happening to her. So do not think just because a woman smiles at you and your child that she is a caregiver. She may not be anything of the sort. She may be a lazy, manipulative person who will lie about taking care of your child. My friend became an abused woman because she was emotionally abused as a child. She was bereft of love and attention. She lacked confidence and self-respect because these qualities were not taught to her. Read this article when you have time about an 11-year-old child murdered in Colorado Springs, Colorado. The title of the article begins with the child's name. Gannon, last name Stauch, stepmother lied to investigators about being raped at gunpoint by his kidnappers. This article will tell you everything about children being killed by females. The show is entitled Women of Courage because God gave me the task of teaching women. When I was called, God told me to talk to men and to teach women. Why he made this distinction, I do not know. He was emphatic about it because he told me several times. He said, talk to men and to teach women. The foundation of the show is to provide encouragement and direction. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Now for my break. You can visit touchedbythelight.us and learn what our books have to offer to you.
What we need to focus on now is bringing positive energy into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We've all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our life will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we do this is by changing our outlook, leading every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism. And once you do this, you will see the change. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life. Family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons of why your life is amazing. And once you do this, you will see the change. You will be the change. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful. And think positive. This right here, this is the moment right before the day starts when you get to look in the mirror and tell yourself who you are. Now, you've been through some dark days. I believe that. But all that pain and struggle, that made the person you're looking at now. So when you walk out of these doors today, I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to believe you are the strongest person walking this planet. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know the grind it took for you to be here. So when you leave here today, I need you to show them. What we need to focus on now is bringing positive energy into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We've all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our life will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we do this is by changing our outlook, leading every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism. And once you do this, you will see the change. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life. Family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons of why your life is amazing. And once you do this, you will see the change. You will be the change. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful. And think positive. Having a goal or a plan to accomplish something isn't enough. You need to dig deeper than that. You need to tap into your subconscious to begin to reprogram your mind. And you do this through positive affirmations. Short statements that you repeat every day, regardless of your goal, how big or little. Whether your goal is to make more money, be a better boyfriend or girlfriend, or find a better job, whatever your goal is, you need to come up with short positive statements about that goal and repeat it each morning. Start by doing this for 5 minutes. And once you begin to do this, you will start to see how the subconscious and conscious mind can work together. You have the potential to do amazing things. And through positive affirmations, you start to build that confidence. Think of all the goals that you've made in the past. Think about the mindset you were in at that moment. It was one of confidence and control. I will be successful in my job. I will make my next promotion. I will meet the love of my life. These are words of affirmation. Now tell me, what are your words? You need to live life with a purpose. You need to spend the time needed to explore, to find your true passion. There are so many unhappy people in this world not willing to make a change. There are so many unhappy people not focusing on the big picture. 1 out of 3 people are happy with their lives. Think about that for a second. 70% of the people you see every day are not happy. And the majority of that has to do with purpose. People are programmed, wired to be okay with the minimum. People stay in jobs they're not passionate about. They date people who don't support them, hang out with people who don't help them grow. This can't be you. You need to spend the time to discover what your true calling is. What are you passionate about? What do you see yourself doing to make your mark? Are you in a job right now that you're truly happy with? Do you wake up every morning excited to start your day? If not, that's okay. You know now this isn't fulfilling you. But what are you gonna do about it? Are you willing to make a change to help reach your goals? If you are, it needs to start now. Because this won't happen overnight, finding your true calling. But once you do, you will see how everything changes. You will begin to see the quality of your life increase. All those problems you had, they slowly fade. You begin to see how powerful life is with a purpose. Oftentimes, we talk so much about the success of something that we don't highlight how important failure can be. Failure is what gives us those real life lessons. And until you've experienced that, you can't truly understand what success means. Because through failure, we begin to understand who we are, what we're made of, what we're willing to do to become successful. Failure is only an event. It does not define you. All it does is create new opportunities for you to succeed. Once one door closes, more will open. But you need to believe that. You need to live life now. Risk everything for your dreams. No matter what the results are, trust in yourself that you will find a way to become successful. In this life, we do not fear failure. We embrace the opportunities that come from it. Think about everything that has been created in this world. If people would have given up after one failure, what would we have? We would literally have nothing. We do not fear failure. We grow from it, we learn from it, and we move on. When you wake up this morning, I want you to think about a few things. In your life, what makes you happy? Is it family, relationships? Is it working or building your career? Is it school or education? What makes you happy every day? What makes you eager to start your morning? Now, while you're doing this, I want you to block any negative thoughts that you have. This is the time of day where you begin to invite positive thoughts into your mind. I want you to think about gratitude, being thankful for the things that you have in your life. Being thankful that you woke up this morning, that you have a job and a place to sleep. Being thankful that you have people around you that truly love and support you. Now make sure when you walk through today, you do it with a positive mind and live by the law of attraction. Believe 100% that positive things will happen throughout the day. And even if things don't go as planned, do not spend time focusing on that. Everything that you want in your life can be achieved. And it's up to you to go out and make it happen. And remember, express positive energy and you will get positive things back in your life. This is how you live by the law of attraction.
Everyone needs encouragement in life. We provide encouragement on the Women of Courage show. Modern day life is filled with many sources of anxiety and emotional pressures. There is an increasing need to excel at everything, and fast work, family, friendship all require an individual's intentions. We are all chasing something, sometimes driven by our desires, and often too trying to meet these societal bars and measures of prosperity that have ingrained in us since childhood. Amidst this rat race that always has us all grasping for some reprieve and hanging on to any source of comfort that we can find, there are still those among us who try to drag us down with a lack of faith. It is difficult to understand why anyone would choose to put out negative energy toward the people around them. We are all just trying to get by and achieve our goal. It is troubling to have to deal with uncertainty and unproductive criticism and naysaying. In order to thrive, it is important that one finds the boldness to rise above the soothsayers of doom. Undoubtedly, it is a difficult task, especially when the naysayers are loved ones who ought to be cheering you on to a greater height. Except it is probably worth remembering that non belief is their chosen path, and while you may desire their support and encouragement, you cannot force it out of them. Only an individual in their heart of hearts truly understand what outcome and achievements they want and hope to for out of their lives. It is important to focus on those life goals and walk toward them. One must remain strong against the odds, encouraging themselves that it will indeed all come to fruition. Just as darkness cannot drive out darkness, you will be hard pressed to overcome non belief without being tenacious enough to stand on your faith. If you want to make something of yourself, you have to focus. You have to eliminate distractions. You have to eliminate Instagram, Facebook, time wasted on YouTube, video games, Netflix, all of the apps, having beer or hanging out with your friends on the weekend from your life. You must be willing to sacrifice all of that energy that you use for the above things. You can use that energy to develop yourself. You have to focus that energy on your new goals. Success is not free. You pay for it by hard work and focusing. The more things you throw on the fire, the more you will be able to focus. You need to research how to develop focus, laser-like focus, how to pick a niche for yourself, how to become a specialist, how to become a completely different person. We at Women of Courage discuss starting a business and winning. Starting a business is not simply waking up, deciding to quit the corporate life, and erecting a structure as an office. It is much more than that. Aside the primary requirement of having a sellable item or an idea and considerable financial strength to start up a business, there's also the subtle but hugely important of being emotionally and psychologically ready. While you could wake up one day, arrange your documents, and apply for a loan to start a business, it's a much different ball game when it comes to meeting up with the psychological and emotional components required to start a business. Owning and running a business comes with a certain degree of fear, uncertainty, and self doubt, which is not properly curtailed, may drown your quest to ever being an entrepreneur. There is also the added pressure of proving yourself to your family, to your friends, while still repaying the confidence invested in you by your employees, partners, or investors. So, in the light of all I have said, why not give the show Women of Courage a listen? In closing, consider these quotes. Here are 5 quotes. I have vices, but hypocrisy is not one of them. Do you know who said this? There has been men throughout history who have made the word impossible untrue. Do you know who said that? These men, at great personal risk, refuse to allow anyone to define them. They charted their own destiny. Do not let a pipe smoking loudmouth define you. There is no refuge from memory and remorse in the world. The spirits of our foolish deeds haunt us with or without repentance. Lastly, a great deal of talent is lost to the world for the want of a little courage. We say, have courage. Listen to the Women of Courage show every Friday from 3 to 4 and every Sunday from 8 to 9. God bless. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now, modern day life is filled with many sources of anxiety and emotional pressures. There is an increasing need to excel at everything and fast. At work, family, friendships all require an individual's attention. We are all chasing something, sometimes driven by our own desire, and often too trying to meet these societal bars and measures of prosperity that have been ingrained into us since childhood. Amidst this rat race that always has us always grasping for something or some reprieve and hanging on to any source of comfort that we can find, there are still those among us who try to drag us down with a lack of faith. It is difficult to understand why anyone would choose to put out negative energy toward the people around them. We are all just trying to get by and achieve our life's goals. It is troubling to have to deal with unnecessary, unproductive criticism and naysaying. In order to thrive, it is important that one finds the boldness to rise above the soothsayers of doom. Undoubtedly, it is a difficult task, especially when the naysayers are loved ones who ought to be cheering you on to greater heights. There are loved ones who are naysayers, and they will repeatedly say negative things to you each and every day. Why? Because they hate themselves, because they know you're striving toward a goal and they are not. I say some naysayers are loved ones who ought to be cheering you on to greater heights. Except it is probably worth remembering that non-belief is their chosen path. And while you may desire their support and encouragement, you cannot force it out of them. Only an individual in their heart of hearts truly understand what outcomes and achievements they want and hope for out of their own lives. It is important to focus on those life goals and work toward them. One must remain strong against odds, encouraging themselves that it will indeed all come to fruition. Just as darkness cannot drive out darkness, you would be hard pressed to overcome non belief without being tenacious enough to stand in faith. What I am saying is leave the naysayers. I don't care if they're in your family. Avoid them, move across town, change your phone number, whatever. But leave the naysayers to themselves because they are not going to change. And you cannot change them. If you want to make something of yourself, you have to focus. You have to eliminate distractions. You have to eliminate Instagram, Facebook, time wasted even on YouTube, Twitter, video games, Netflix, Tripod, all the apps, having beer, hanging out with your friends on the weekend. You have got to be willing to sacrifice all of that energy that you use for the above things. You have to focus that energy on new goals. Now, people are going to come around you. Let's go on Facebook. Let's go out for a beer. Let's play a video game. Say no and leave the area. You must focus on your new goals. Success is not free. You pay for it by hard work and focusing. The more things you throw on the fire, the more you will be able to focus. You need to research how to develop focus, how to develop laser-like focus, how to pick a niche and become a specialist, how to become a completely different person, how to become a new and completely different person, how to become a new you, and how to obtain your goals at ease. One of the most effective ways of getting ahead in life is by learning from the mistakes and successes of other people. This way, one can avoid the mistakes other people have made and possibly achieve success faster. This is one of the reasons why you cannot afford not to read the series Women of Courage. In this series of books, the lives and times of several women were chronicled who by sheer courage conquered the world around them. These women are examples of the quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, "When a resolute young fellow steps up to the great bully, which is the world, and takes him boldly by the beard, he is often surprised to find out that the beard comes off in his hand and that it was only tied on to scare away the timid adventurer." These are ordinary women like all of us, but they were determined to do extraordinary things. From the stories of their lives, you will learn how to stop making and living a mediocre life and start conquering your world and living on your own terms. For them, failure was not an option. Rather, it was an opportunity to refire and reach for their goals again. They have shown tremendous courage, so much that their lives could easily serve as a template for other women to emulate. Your primary starting point is believing in yourself and encouraging yourself even in the face of failure and naysayers. Thomas Edison failed numerous times, but he kept going. Finally, he won and invented the light bulb and other inventions. The same with Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln failed at politics many times. He even ran for dog catcher and lost, but he kept running for public office until he was elected president. One thing about the series Women of Courage, the books are not ordinary books. These books will challenge you, push you, and of course inspire you to gain your life again. Remember, A man is what he thinks about all day. So said Ralph Waldo Emerson. Please tell your friends and family about our broadcast and invite them to listen to us every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. on 88.1 FM WHPR. You can email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com to learn more about our programs and how you can become involved. You can find inspirational articles by the Women of Courage Show by visiting the website touchedbythelight.us. You can read some of our essays on your lunch hour. These articles will help you last throughout the day. They will inspire you not to quit.
You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.
Hi, this is Renee stepping out on faith. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the WHPR TV Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Thank you for listening to Women of Courage and have a great day.